Imagine reaching into your pocket, pulling out an ordinary-looking half-dollar, and discovering that it could be worth $1 million. It sounds like the plot of a treasure-hunting movie. But for coin collectors, stories like these are what fuel the endless search through old jars, forgotten collections, and inherited coin albums. And among the many coins that spark excitement, one piece often finds itself surrounded by rumors, mystery, and astonishing value claims: the 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar. But there's one problem. The Franklin half-dollar officially ended in 1963. So how can a 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar exist at all? And why do some people believe such a coin could be worth a fortune? The answer takes us deep into one of the most fascinating mysteries in American coin collecting. To understand this story, we need to travel back to the late 1940s. America was emerging from World War II. The nation was changing rapidly, and the United States Mint wanted a new design for the half-dollar. In 1948, a coin honoring one of America's most respected founding fathers entered circulation: Benjamin Franklin. Unlike presidents who commonly appeared on American coins, Franklin was never president. Yet his contributions to science, diplomacy, literature, and the founding of the nation made him one of the most influential figures in American history. The Franklin half-dollar featured his portrait on the front and the famous Liberty Bell on the reverse. For 15 years, from 1948 through 1963, millions of Franklin half-dollars circulated across America. Then everything changed. In November of 1963, the nation was shocked by the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. Public demand for a commemorative coin honoring Kennedy became overwhelming. The Mint responded quickly. The Franklin half-dollar was retired. Beginning in 1964, the Kennedy half-dollar replaced it. As far as official records are concerned, the Franklin half-dollar ceased production forever. Or did it? This is where the mystery begins. Every few years, rumors surface about unusual coins that somehow shouldn't exist. Collectors whisper about pattern coins, experimental strikes, mint errors, and secret pieces produced under unusual circumstances. Among these stories is the legendary concept of a Franklin design appearing on a later dated coin. Imagine finding a half-dollar dated 1971 carrying Franklin's portrait instead of Kennedy's. Such a coin would instantly raise questions. Was it an error? A fantasy piece?
A private mint creation?
Or something even more extraordinary? The truth is that no officially recognized 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar was ever authorized by the United States Mint. The Denver Mint produced Kennedy half-dollars in 1971, not Franklin half-dollars. Yet the coin collecting world has seen countless unusual creations over the decades. Some are altered after leaving the Mint. Others are manufactured by private companies. And a few are so convincing that they spark years of debate among collectors. Could one of these mysterious pieces someday command extraordinary prices? History suggests it's possible. After all, some of the most valuable coins in American history weren't supposed to exist either. Consider the legendary 1943 copper penny. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be made from steel to conserve copper for the war effort. Yet a tiny number were accidentally struck on copper planchets. Today, these rare mistakes can sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Then there is the famous 1913 Liberty Head nickel. Only 5 examples are known. They were produced under mysterious circumstances and became some of the most valuable coins ever sold. Individual examples have reached multi-million-dollar prices. These stories prove an important lesson. In coin collecting, rarity can create astonishing value. But rarity alone is not enough. A coin must also be authentic, documented, and desired by collectors. That's where many million-dollar coin stories fall apart. The internet is filled with headlines claiming that common coins are worth enormous fortunes. A worn coin found in circulation might suddenly appear in an online article claiming values of hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Unfortunately, many of these claims lack evidence. The real coin market operates differently. Professional grading services carefully examine coins for authenticity, condition, rarity, and historical significance. Auction houses document sales records. Serious collectors study populations and market demand. A genuine $1 million coin is usually supported by extensive documentation and proven rarity. So where does that leave the mysterious idea of a 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar worth $1 million? The answer lies in possibility rather than proven reality. If an authentic, previously unknown mint error somehow surfaced combining a Franklin design with a 1971 Denver date, collectors would be stunned. Experts would investigate immediately. Authentication specialists would analyze every detail. Metal composition, die characteristics, strike quality, and historical records would all come under scrutiny. If proven genuine and unique, such a coin could potentially become one of the most important discoveries in modern numismatics. And extraordinary discoveries can generate extraordinary prices. That's what makes stories like this so captivating. Collectors aren't merely searching for old metal. They're searching for hidden history. Every coin carries a story. Some tell stories about presidents and wars. Others reveal forgotten moments in mint operations. A few challenge everything experts thought they knew. Imagine opening an old family coin collection. You expect ordinary pocket change. Then you spot something unusual. The date seems wrong. The design doesn't match known records. Your heart starts racing. Could this be a rare variety? A previously unknown error? A once-in-a-lifetime discovery? Those moments of possibility are what keep collectors searching year after year, even when the odds are incredibly small. And sometimes those dreams come true. Across America, remarkable treasures continue to emerge from unlikely places. Rare coins have been discovered in estate sales, in coffee cans hidden in attics, inside forgotten safety deposit boxes, even in ordinary pocket change. Each discovery reminds us that history often hides in plain sight. The fascination surrounding a supposed 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar reflects something deeper than monetary value. It reflects humanity's love of mysteries. We are naturally drawn to unanswered questions. Could there be an unknown coin waiting to be discovered? Could an overlooked treasure still exist somewhere? Could a collector someday uncover evidence that rewrites part of numismatic history? These questions keep the hobby alive. They inspire new generations of treasure hunters. And they transform simple coins into portals connecting us with the past. The next time you encounter an old half-dollar, take a closer look. Notice the details. Study the date. Examine the design. Think about the hands that carried it decades ago. Think about the stories it could tell. Because while a documented 1971 D. Franklin half-dollar worth $1 million remains more legend than reality, the excitement surrounding such possibilities captures the true spirit of coin collecting. Every collector begins with a question. What if? What if this coin is special? What if history is hiding right here in my hand? What if the next great discovery hasn't been found yet? And perhaps that's the greatest treasure of all. Not the $1 million price tag. Not the auction records. Not even the rarity. But the thrill of the hunt. The possibility that somewhere, waiting to be discovered, is a coin that could astonish the entire collecting world. So before you dismiss that old coin sitting in a drawer, remember this story. Because history has a remarkable habit of surprising us. And sometimes the most ordinary-looking treasure can lead to the most extraordinary adventure. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe, leave a comment sharing the most unusual coin you've ever found, and join us for more incredible stories from the fascinating world of numismatics. Who knows? The next legendary discovery might already be waiting for you. The story you are about to hear sounds almost impossible. Imagine reaching into an old drawer, pulling out a dusty half-dollar that has been sitting unnoticed for decades, and discovering that collectors are willing to pay a fortune for it. Not hundreds, not thousands, potentially life-changing money. Now imagine that coin is a 1972 half-dollar. Could a simple coin from the early 1970s really be worth millions? Why are some collectors obsessively searching through old collections and inherited coin jars for certain Kennedy half-dollars? And what secrets could be hiding in plain sight? Stay with me, because the truth behind the mysterious 1972 No FG Kennedy half dollar is one of the most fascinating stories in modern American coin collecting. To understand why this coin creates so much excitement, we need to travel back to one of the most emotional moments in American history. In November of 1963, the nation was shocked by the assassination of President John F. Kennedy. The tragedy deeply affected millions of Americans. In response, the United States Mint moved quickly to honor the fallen president. Just months later, in 1964, the Kennedy half dollar was introduced. Americans rushed to banks to obtain the new coin. Many people never spent them. Instead, they saved them as keepsakes and memorials. Over time, the Kennedy half dollar became one of the most recognizable coins in American history. But hidden among the billions of Kennedy half dollars produced over the decades were a few extraordinary mistakes. And one of those mistakes would become legendary. On the reverse side of every Kennedy half dollar, near the eagle's tail feathers, are the initials FG. These letters stand for Frank Gasparo, the talented engraver who designed the reverse of the coin. His initials were intentionally placed on the design as a signature of his work. Most people never notice them, but collectors do, because on certain rare coins, those initials are mysteriously missing. This brings us to the famous No FG variety. During the coin production process, dies are used to strike designs onto blank metal planchets. Over time, these dies wear down and are often polished by mint employees to extend their usefulness. Sometimes excessive polishing removes small details from the die. In a few rare cases, the FG initials disappeared entirely. The result? A Kennedy half dollar that looked normal to the average person but contained a rare and highly sought-after minting variety. When collectors first began discovering examples, excitement spread quickly throughout the hobby. How many existed? Were they all produced at the same mint? Could more still be hiding in circulation? No one knew for certain, and uncertainty is often what fuels treasure hunts. What makes the 1972 No FG variety especially intriguing is that millions of regular Kennedy half dollars were struck that year. Most are worth only a modest amount, but finding one without the FG initials transforms an ordinary coin into something far more valuable. Collectors began examining coin rolls, inherited collections, and old bank holdings with magnifying glasses. Some searched for years. Others got lucky. Stories emerged of people discovering valuable examples in forgotten family collections. Imagine inheriting a box of coins from a grandparent. You sort through them casually. Then one coin catches your eye. A closer look reveals the missing initials. Suddenly, that simple piece of metal becomes the centerpiece of your collection. These moments are what make coin collecting so addictive. Every coin has a story. Every coin carries the possibility of a surprise. And sometimes those surprises can be worth serious money. Now let's address the claim that often appears in headlines and online videos. Can a 1972 No FG Kennedy half dollar really be worth $2 million? The answer requires a bit of caution. While rare coin values can reach astonishing levels, the vast majority of 1972 No FG examples sell for far less than $2 million. Their value depends heavily on condition, rarity, certification, and market demand. A circulated example might bring a significant premium compared to an ordinary coin. A superb gem quality example certified by a major grading service can command much higher prices. But the multi-million-dollar figures often seen online are usually based on speculation, sensational claims, or hypothetical situations involving unique specimens. Still, that doesn't make the story any less exciting. Why? Because even without reaching millions, rare error and variety coins have produced extraordinary auction results throughout history. Collectors routinely pay impressive sums for coins that represent important minting mistakes or unusual production anomalies. And the No FG Kennedy half dollar occupies a special place in that category. There is another fascinating aspect to this mystery. The missing initials are surprisingly difficult to spot if you don't know exactly where to look. Many people have handled these coins without ever realizing what they were seeing. Think about that for a moment. A potentially valuable variety could pass through countless hands unnoticed simply because most people never examine the reverse design closely. How many treasures have already slipped through circulation? How many remain hidden inside forgotten piggy banks, old coin albums, and dusty storage boxes? Those questions continue to inspire collectors today. The 1972 No FG variety also reflects something larger about American coinage. Coins are often viewed as ordinary objects. We spend them without a second thought. Yet each one represents a tiny piece of history. They pass through countless lives. They witness economic changes, cultural shifts, and personal stories. A Kennedy half-dollar minted in 1972 may have traveled across the country. It may have been carried in wallets, dropped into vending machines, stored in collections, or tucked away in drawers for decades. Every scratch tells part of its journey. Every mark represents a moment in time. That sense of connection is one reason collectors become so passionate about rare coins. They're not just collecting metal. They're collecting stories. And the No FG story is one of the best. A small design detail disappears. The mistake escapes detection. Years later, collectors uncover the mystery. Demand grows, values rise, legends spread, and suddenly an overlooked coin becomes famous. It's almost like a treasure map hidden in plain sight. Perhaps the most remarkable thing is that discoveries are still being made. Even today, collectors continue searching through old holdings, hoping to find varieties that others missed. New treasures occasionally emerge from places no one expected. An attic, a safety deposit box, a family inheritance.
A forgotten coin jar.
The next great discovery could be waiting anywhere. That's what keeps the excitement alive. Before you rush off to inspect every Kennedy half-dollar you can find, remember that authentication is essential. Many coins may appear unusual due to wear, damage, or lighting conditions. Professional grading and expert evaluation are often necessary to confirm genuine varieties. But that doesn't diminish the thrill of searching. In fact, it enhances it, because every hunt begins with curiosity. And curiosity has always been the driving force behind great discoveries. So the next time you encounter an old Kennedy half-dollar, take a closer look. Examine the reverse. Search for those tiny FG initials near the eagle. Ask yourself a simple question. What if? What if this ordinary-looking coin isn't ordinary at all? What if it carries a hidden story that has gone unnoticed for decades? What if a small detail could transform a common coin into a collector's dream? The tale of the 1972 No FG Kennedy half-dollar reminds us that history often hides in unexpected places. Sometimes the greatest treasures aren't buried beneath the earth. Sometimes they're sitting quietly in a drawer, waiting for someone curious enough to notice. And that may be the most valuable lesson of all. If you enjoyed uncovering the mystery behind this fascinating coin, make sure to subscribe and join us for more incredible stories of rare coins, hidden treasures, and forgotten pieces of history that could be worth far more than anyone ever imagined. Because the next coin we explore might just be the one sitting in your pocket right now. I want you to imagine this for a moment. You're digging through an old box of coins that has been sitting in a closet for decades. Dust covers the lid. Most people would expect to find nothing more than pocket change. But then, hidden among ordinary coins, you spot a 1989 Franklin half-dollar that experts claim could be worth as much as $9 million. Sounds impossible, right? After all, the Franklin half-dollar was never officially minted in 1989. The series ended years earlier. So how could a coin that shouldn't even exist become one of the most talked about treasures in the coin collecting world? And more importantly, could one still be out there waiting to be discovered? Today, we're diving into the mystery, history, and astonishing story behind the legendary 1989 P. Franklin half-dollar. A coin surrounded by rumors, collector fascination, and dreams of unimaginable wealth. To understand why this coin creates so much excitement, we need to travel back in time. The Franklin half-dollar first appeared in 1948. It was introduced by the United States Mint to honor one of America's most respected founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. Unlike many American coins that featured presidents or military leaders, Franklin represented something different. He was a scientist, inventor, diplomat, writer, and statesman. His achievements shaped the young nation in countless ways. The coin's designer, sculptor John R. Cynic, placed Franklin's portrait on the front. On the reverse appeared the iconic Liberty Bell, one of the most recognizable symbols of American freedom. For 15 years, the Franklin half-dollar circulated throughout the United States. Then everything changed. In 1963, President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. The tragedy shocked the nation. Within months, the Franklin half-dollar was replaced by the Kennedy half-dollar, ending the Franklin series forever. Or so everyone thought. For decades, collectors believed the Franklin half-dollar had become a completed chapter in American coin history. Yet stories began circulating among collectors and treasure hunters about unusual strikes, fantasy pieces, and mysterious coins bearing Franklin's image with dates that never officially existed. Among those rumored dates was 1989. Now let's be absolutely clear. There was no official 1989 Franklin half-dollar produced by the United States Mint. The Philadelphia Mint, identified by the P Mint mark on many modern coins, never released a Franklin half-dollar in 1989. So where does the legend come from? This is where the story becomes fascinating. Throughout coin collecting history, there have been rare instances of experimental strikes, fantasy creations, unauthorized pieces, and mint errors that escaped public attention. Sometimes private engravers create imaginative versions of historical coins using modern dates. Other times, altered coins appear and generate excitement before experts determine their true origins. The rumored 1989 P. Franklin half-dollar sits somewhere in this mysterious territory. Some collectors believe a handful of unofficial prototype-like pieces may have been created as tribute designs. Others think the stories originated from altered coins that were later exaggerated through collector circles and online discussions. And then there are those who believe something much stranger happened behind closed doors. Could an experimental strike have been produced? Could a unique mint error have survived unnoticed? Or is the entire story simply a modern numismatic legend? No one knows for certain. What we do know is that mystery has always been one of the most powerful forces in the world of treasure hunting. Think about it. Why do people search shipwrecks for lost gold? Why do archaeologists spend decades looking for forgotten civilizations? Why do coin collectors carefully inspect every piece of pocket change? Because every great discovery begins with a question. What if? And that question is exactly what keeps the legend of the 1989 Franklin half-dollar alive. Now let's talk about the eye-popping figure often attached to this coin. $9 million. Whenever a coin is associated with a price this enormous, skepticism is healthy. In reality, a coin reaches multi-million-dollar status only under extraordinary circumstances. It must be incredibly rare. Its authenticity must be unquestionable. Its historical significance must be exceptional. And wealthy collectors must be willing to compete aggressively for ownership. Throughout history, several coins have achieved astonishing auction results. Unique specimens, legendary errors, and historically important pieces have sold for millions of dollars because they represented something collectors could never replace. If a genuine, previously unknown 1989 Franklin half-dollar somehow existed and could be proven authentic, it would immediately become one of the most important discoveries in modern American numismatics. Think about the implications. A Franklin half-dollar dated more than 25 years after the series officially ended. A coin that rewrites assumptions about American minting history. A piece surrounded by mystery, rarity, and controversy. That combination alone would ignite a bidding war unlike anything most collectors have ever witnessed. But here's the interesting part. The true value of such a coin wouldn't come from its silver content. It wouldn't come from its face value. It would come from its story. Collectors don't simply buy metal. They buy history. They buy mystery. They buy the opportunity to own something nobody else can. And few stories are more intriguing than a coin that seemingly should not exist. As the years have passed, stories about rare Franklin half-dollars have only grown stronger. Collectors carefully examine estate sales. Treasure hunters search inherited collections. Coin dealers inspect forgotten boxes brought in by families who have no idea what they might possess. Every once in a while, an unexpected discovery changes everything. A rare coin emerges from an attic. A forgotten collection reveals a hidden gem. A piece thought lost forever suddenly appears. These discoveries remind us that history is still waiting to be found. Some of the most valuable coins ever discovered spent decades sitting unnoticed in jars, drawers, and family collections. That's what makes coin collecting so exciting. Unlike buried treasure hidden on distant islands, valuable coins can appear almost anywhere. In a coin album, in a bankroll, in a grandfather's desk, or in a dusty box nobody has opened for years. And that's why stories like the 1989 Franklin half-dollar continue capturing imaginations around the world. Whether the coin is reality, rumor, fantasy, or legend, it represents something larger. It represents possibility. The possibility that history still holds secrets. The possibility that extraordinary treasures remain undiscovered. The possibility that an ordinary person could make an extraordinary find. Imagine holding a coin in your hand and realizing you're looking at something nobody else has ever seen. Imagine the experts examining it. Imagine the headlines. Imagine the auction room falling silent as bids climb higher and higher. That dream fuels collectors every single day. And perhaps that's the greatest value of all. Not the millions of dollars. Not the rarity. Not even the mystery. But the sense of wonder. Because in a world where so much seems already discovered, coins remind us that surprises still exist. Small pieces of metal can carry enormous stories. They can connect us to the past. They can challenge what we think we know. And occasionally, they can spark legends that refuse to die. So, is there really a 1989 P. Franklin half-dollar worth $9 million? The evidence remains uncertain. The mystery remains unsolved. And perhaps that's exactly why the story continues to fascinate collectors everywhere. What do you think? Could such a coin truly exist somewhere in a forgotten collection? Or is it one of the greatest coin legends ever told? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And before you go, take a closer look at the coins hiding in your own collection. You never know what stories, secrets, or treasures might be waiting to be discovered. If you enjoyed this journey into one of the most intriguing mysteries in coin collecting, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us for more incredible stories about rare coins, hidden treasures, and unbelievable discoveries. Because the next life-changing coin could be closer than you think. What if I told you that a single 50-cent coin, a coin that millions of people barely glance at, could potentially be worth an astonishing $1 million? It sounds impossible. After all, how could a coin with a face value of just 50 cents become more valuable than a luxury home, a sports car collection, or even a lifetime of savings for many people? Yet stories like this have fueled the dreams of coin collectors for decades. Hidden among ordinary pocket change, bankrolls, and forgotten coin jars are rare treasures that have shocked the collecting world. And today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating modern coins that has captured the attention of treasure hunters everywhere. The 1990 D. Franklin half-dollar. But before you rush to search through every coin you own, there's a mystery we need to uncover. Is a 1990 D. Franklin half-dollar really worth $1 million? Or is there more to the story than meets the eye? Let's find out. To understand why this coin generates so much excitement, we first need to travel back through American coin history. The Franklin half-dollar is one of the most beloved coins ever produced by the United States Mint. First introduced in 1948, it honored one of America's most respected founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin. Unlike presidents or military leaders commonly featured on U.S. coins, Franklin was chosen because of his incredible contributions as a statesman, inventor, scientist, diplomat, and writer. The coin displayed Franklin's portrait on the front and the iconic Liberty Bell on the reverse. For 15 years, from 1948 until 1963, the Franklin half-dollar circulated throughout the nation. Then tragedy struck. Following the assassination of President John F. Kennedy in 1963, the U.S. Mint quickly redesigned the half-dollar. Beginning in 1964, Franklin's image disappeared from circulation and was replaced by Kennedy's portrait. This historical change makes every Franklin half-dollar a piece of a bygone era. Now here's where things become interesting. When people hear about a 1990 Franklin half-dollar, experienced collectors immediately notice a problem. The Franklin half-dollar series officially ended in 1963. No Franklin half-dollars were produced by the Denver Mint in 1990. So why does the phrase 1990 Franklin half-dollar worth $1 million continue to appear online and spark endless curiosity? The answer lies in one of the most exciting aspects of coin collecting: errors, fantasies, and impossible coins. Throughout history, rare minting mistakes have created coins that should not exist. Imagine a coin struck with the wrong design. Imagine a coin made using outdated dies. Imagine a coin combining features from two completely different series. Such mistakes are extraordinarily rare, but when they occur, collectors can pay enormous sums to own them. Could there be a mysterious 1990 coin somehow connected to the Franklin half-dollar design? While no verified example has ever been officially documented by major grading services, the possibility of unknown mint errors continues to fuel speculation among collectors. And that's exactly why treasure hunters remain fascinated. After all, some of the most valuable coins in history were once dismissed as impossible. Take the famous 1943 copper penny. During World War II, pennies were supposed to be struck in steel to conserve copper for the war effort. Yet a few copper examples accidentally entered circulation. Today, those rare pennies have sold for hundreds of thousands of dollars. Or consider the legendary 1955 double die penny. At first glance, it looked like a mistake. Today, it's one of the most famous error coins in American history. Stories like these remind collectors that extraordinary discoveries can happen when least expected. Now let's talk about the actual 1990 half-dollar. The Denver Mint produced millions of Kennedy half-dollars in 1990. Most remain common today and are generally worth only face value or a small premium if uncirculated. However, collectors constantly search these coins for unusual characteristics: off-center strikes,
Double-dies,
wrong planchet errors, clipped planchets,
die cracks,
missing clad layers. These rare mint mistakes can dramatically increase a coin's value. A normal 50-cent coin may be worth just 50 cents. A significant error coin could be worth hundreds, thousands, or even tens of thousands of dollars depending on its rarity and condition. This leads us back to the million-dollar question. Could a 1990 half-dollar ever reach $1 million? In theory, almost any coin could reach extraordinary values if it possessed a combination of extreme rarity, historical importance, and intense collector demand. But reaching $1 million requires something truly exceptional. The coin would likely need to be unique. Its authenticity would need verification by leading grading organizations. Its story would need to captivate the collecting community. And perhaps most importantly, wealthy collectors would need to compete fiercely to own it. History shows that such bidding wars can push prices into unimaginable territory. Human psychology plays a powerful role here. Collectors aren't just buying metal. They're buying history. They're buying mystery. They're buying the thrill of owning something almost nobody else can possess. And sometimes that emotional connection becomes priceless. Imagine discovering an unusual half-dollar in an old family collection. First, it seems ordinary. Then you notice something strange. The design looks different. The date appears unusual. Experts begin examining it. News spreads across collecting forums. Auction houses become interested. Suddenly, a coin forgotten for decades transforms into the center of national attention. Could that happen again? Many collectors believe it can. That's why countless people continue searching through bankrolls, estate sales, flea markets, and inherited collections. Because every treasure hunt begins with a simple question. What if? What if the next great discovery is still waiting to be found? What if an overlooked coin sitting in a drawer today becomes tomorrow's headline-making rarity? What if history has one more surprise left to reveal? These questions keep the hobby alive. They inspire beginners and experts alike. and they remind us that the greatest treasures often hide in the most ordinary places. The story surrounding the so-called 1990 Franklin half dollar is ultimately a story about curiosity. It's about the excitement of possibility. It's about the dream that somewhere out there exists a coin nobody expected to find. Whether or not a genuine million-dollar example ever emerges, the legend itself continues to inspire collectors around the world. Because coin collecting has never been solely about money. It's about discovery. It's about history. It's about holding a piece of the past in your hands and wondering where it has traveled over the decades. And sometimes, it's about believing that the next incredible find might be hiding just one coin away. So the next time you receive change, open an old coin jar, or inherit a collection from a relative, take a closer look. You never know what secrets might be staring back at you. Maybe you'll find nothing unusual. Maybe you'll uncover a fascinating piece of history. Or maybe, just maybe, you'll discover the coin that everyone else overlooked. And if you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins and hidden treasures, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and join us for more incredible stories from the fascinating world of numismatics. Because the next coin we explore could be worth far more than anyone ever imagined. The story you are about to hear begins with a claim so shocking that it stops collectors in their tracks. What if a simple half-dollar coin, a coin that many people have never even seen in everyday change, could be worth $6 million? Imagine opening an old drawer, finding a forgotten coin tucked away for decades, and discovering that it could change your life forever. Sounds impossible, right? Yet stories like these are exactly what keep treasure hunters searching through coin collections, estate sales, and dusty boxes hidden in attics across America. Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of the 1996 D. Franklin half dollar, a coin often surrounded by rumors, misunderstandings, and incredible value claims. But here's the real mystery. Does a $6 million version actually exist? And if not, what makes certain rare coins sell for astonishing amounts of money? Let's uncover the truth. To understand this coin, we first need to travel back through American history. The Franklin half dollar was first introduced in 1948. It featured one of America's most respected founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin, on the front of the coin. The reverse displayed the Liberty Bell, one of the nation's most recognizable symbols of freedom. For more than 15 years, the Franklin half dollar circulated throughout the United States. It became a favorite among collectors because of its elegant design and connection to American history. But there is an important detail many people miss. The Franklin half dollar series officially ended in 1963. In 1964, following the tragic assassination of President John F. Kennedy, the United States Mint replaced the Franklin design with the Kennedy half dollar. From that point forward, Franklin half dollars were no longer produced. So if someone claims to have a genuine 1996 D. Franklin half dollar, a major question immediately appears. How could a Franklin half dollar have been minted in 1996 if the series ended more than 30 years earlier? That question alone has sparked countless discussions among collectors. Some believe such coins may be fantasy pieces created by private manufacturers. Others think they may be altered coins. And some simply assume they are rare mint errors. This uncertainty is exactly what fuels the excitement. People love mysteries. And in the coin collecting world, mysteries often lead to treasure hunts. Now let's talk about the year 1996. The Denver Mint, identified by the D Mint mark, was actively producing Kennedy half dollars during that year. Millions of them were struck for collectors and circulation purposes. The Denver Mint itself has a rich history. Established in the Rocky Mountains during the era of gold discoveries, it became one of America's most important coin-producing facilities. Coins carrying the Denver Mint mark have always fascinated collectors. Some have become famous because of rare errors, unusual strikes, or limited survival in high grades. Could a mysterious 1996 D coin somehow connect to that legacy? That's where the story becomes even more interesting. In coin collecting, extraordinary values almost never come from ordinary coins. Instead, they usually come from one of three things: extreme rarity, extraordinary condition, or unique minting mistakes. A tiny error made during production can transform a coin worth 50 cents into something worth thousands of dollars. Double strikes, off-center strikes, missing design elements, wrong planchets, and dramatic die errors have all created legendary rarities. Collectors spend decades searching for these treasures. Sometimes they find them, most times they don't. But the possibility keeps the hunt alive. Now imagine a hypothetical situation. Suppose a genuine 1996 D half-dollar somehow existed with an impossible Franklin design instead of the standard Kennedy design. If authenticated as a genuine mint-produced error, such a discovery would shock the entire numismatic community. Experts would immediately investigate. How did it happen? Was it struck from experimental dies? Was it part of a secret test? Was it a one-of-a-kind production mistake? The answers could rewrite parts of modern mint history. And when a coin becomes unique enough, value can become almost limitless. History has shown that collectors will pay extraordinary amounts for truly unique discoveries. Some famous American coins have sold for millions of dollars because only one or two examples exist. The combination of rarity, mystery, and historical significance creates powerful demand. But here's the crucial fact every collector should remember. As of today, there is no widely recognized or documented 1996 D Franklin half-dollar known to the numismatic community that has sold for $6 million. That doesn't mean valuable coins don't exist. It simply means that sensational claims should always be verified through trusted experts and professional grading services. In the coin world, facts matter. Authentication matters. Documentation matters. Without those things, rumors can spread far faster than reality. And yet, sometimes the rumors themselves become part of the story. Think about it. Why are people so fascinated by claims of million-dollar coins? Because deep down, everyone dreams of discovering hidden treasure. It's the same dream that drove gold prospectors into dangerous mountains. The same dream that inspires treasure hunters to search shipwrecks. The same dream that encourages collectors to inspect every coin before spending it. Hope is powerful. Every coin tells a story. Most stories are ordinary, but occasionally one becomes extraordinary. Let's talk about what collectors actually look for in half-dollars from the modern era. Condition is everything. A coin that spent years circulating in pockets and cash registers may only be worth face value. But a pristine example preserved since the day it was minted can command a substantial premium. Professional grading services evaluate coins under strict standards. Tiny differences in luster, strike quality, and preservation can dramatically affect value. Two coins minted on the same day can end up with vastly different prices decades later. That's one reason why serious collectors store their coins carefully. They understand that preservation protects history. Another factor is rarity within condition. Even if millions of coins were produced, very few may survive in exceptional grades. Those elite examples often become the targets of fierce competition among collectors. When bidding wars erupt, prices can climb far beyond what casual observers expect. And that brings us back to our original question. Could a half-dollar ever be worth $6 million? In theory, yes, if it were unique enough, rare enough, important enough, and desired enough. The coin market has repeatedly demonstrated that collectors will pay astonishing amounts for truly exceptional pieces. But such values are reserved for the rarest of the rare. The coins that rewrite history. The coins that challenge what experts thought they knew. The coins that may never appear again. Perhaps the greatest lesson from this story isn't about money at all. It's about curiosity, the willingness to ask questions, the excitement of learning history through objects small enough to fit in the palm of your hand. A coin is more than metal. It's a time capsule, a witness to economic change, political events, technological advances, and human ambition. Every scratch, every design, every mint mark carries a story waiting to be discovered. And sometimes those stories are even more valuable than the coins themselves. So the next time you come across an old half-dollar, don't dismiss it too quickly. Take a closer look. Check the date. Examine the mint mark. Research its history. Because while the legendary $6,001,996 D. Franklin half dollar remains more myth than documented reality, history has proven that remarkable discoveries can still happen when least expected. After all, every great treasure story begins the same way. Someone noticed something that everyone else overlooked. And who knows? The next incredible discovery might be sitting quietly in a coin jar, an old collection, or a forgotten family heirloom right now. If you enjoyed this journey into the mysteries of rare coins, hidden treasures, and fascinating American history, make sure to subscribe and join us for more incredible stories from the world of numismatics. And before you go, tell us in the comments, what is the most unusual coin you have ever found? Your discovery might inspire our next adventure into the hunt for history's hidden treasures.